There are moments when you speak to someone and feel mid-sentence that the word "you" has not arrived where you sent it, that the distance between you is not what you assumed. In Tarkovsky's Solaris, a man arrives above an ocean that does not speak in human language. The ocean answers in the only language available to it, the interior of the mind that came to question it. This archive does not follow the plot. It follows one word after it has been spoken toward the wrong kind of presence. You. The archive begins where the word leaves the mouth and cannot confirm where it arrives. The word "you" is a direction. It leaves the mouth toward what is not the mouth. It moves as pressure through the air of the room. It arrives at surfaces, but "you" is not aimed at the walls. It is aimed at a presence on the other side of the distance. What that presence must be is not stated when the word is spoken. It is already in the word. The word assumes a destination that exists outside the speaker, a presence that was there before the word went out, that has its own history, its own weight in the room, its own continuation when the speaker stops speaking. The word was built for this. Every use of "you" rests on it, the assumption that the distance is real, that the other side of it is genuinely another side. This is not stated when the word is spoken. It does not need to be. In every room where it has worked, the assumption was simply true. A spoken word arrives at a body differently than it arrives at a wall. The body receives it in the chest, in the ear, in the bones of the face. The word enters at several depths. When the word is "you," the body is already turning toward the sound, already adjusting, already in relation to the one who spoke. The word has done what it was built to do. What it was built to assume was already there before it left the mouth. The word has never had to check. In every ordinary room, the outside was outside. The other was the other. The distance was the distance. The word did not know it was depending on any of this. In every room where it has worked, the dependency was invisible. The word left the mouth and the outside was outside. The other was the other. The distance ran clean from one side to the other, and the word crossed it without knowing it was crossing anything. The word had never been asked to verify what it assumed. It had never failed to arrive. In Tarkovsky's film, a woman is in the room. She has the dimensions of someone Kelvin knew. The same height, the same voice at the same frequencies, the same weight on the floor. She occupies space. When Kelvin speaks "you" toward her, the word makes the journey it always makes. It leaves his mouth, it crosses the air, it arrives. She turns, she receives it. All the signs of address are present. She was built from what Kelvin had carried inside him, not from Harry's body, which was gone. From Kelvin's memory of Hari, the proportions as he retained them, the voice at the frequency he remembered, the weight distribution as he had known it in a body he had loved and lost. The ocean read what was there and produced from that reading a form, not a copy of Hari, a copy of Kelvin's image of Hari, which means the image walked into the room. It had the right warmth, the right voice, the right way of standing still, the right weight pressing into the floor at the points a body of that height and build would press. The image had been given everything the body would need to pass as real, everything that could be observed and verified. The observation confirmed her. The verification had nowhere to go after. The sound arrived. The body received it. The word had broken before the air carried it across the room. The word reached her. What it could not reach was the outside the word required. In the film, there is also the woman who is not in the room, the one who died, the one Kelvin remembers, the one the ocean cannot reach. The woman in the room is not that woman, but she has been made from the place that woman left in him, the shape of her absence in his memory, the precise dimensions of what he had been unable to release. The word "you" was spoken toward the woman in the room. It was aimed also at the place. It was aimed also at the woman who is not in the room and who the word cannot reach. 3 addresses in one word. 3 destinations, none of them clean. Breath enters, breath leaves. Between breaths, the air holds its density. To speak other requires that the presence has an outside. Not that it is strange or distant or unknown. What it requires is that the presence originates somewhere the speaker does not. That it was there before the speaker arrived. That it would continue if the speaker left. Not as a feeling, as the ground condition the word was built to stand on. Remove that condition and the word continues to be spoken. The voice still moves. The air still carries it. The body on the other end still receives it. But the word is no longer doing what the word does. It is crossing a distance that runs back to where it started. When Harry suffers, that ground is tested. She knows she was constructed. She holds the knowledge and it causes her pain. Not malfunction, not error, but the kind of pain a subject holds. She chooses, at the end, to ask for her own destruction. The choice originates in her. It costs her. It is made for another person's suffering. She is other. She suffers without Kelvin directing the suffering. She is not other. The address curves back, because the outside it was aimed at is the inside it departed from. She was made from him. She was not him. The word "you" broke between the two and kept being spoken. She does not disappear when the word fails. She remains in the room, not as an answer, not as a mistake that can be corrected by naming it. She breathes. She turns toward him. She suffers in the place where the word cannot settle. The failure of the word does not remove the one who receives it. What the film refuses to do is resolve this by choosing one side. If Hari is simply a copy, the word stops. Kelvin adjusts. The story ends as a story about misrecognition. Tarkovsky does not do this. He shows Hari continuing after the knowledge arrives, suffering with the knowledge, loving with the knowledge, finally choosing to end herself because of what she knows. The choice requires a subject. A copy does not make this kind of choice, but the subject who makes it was made from Kelvin's interior. Both things are true. Both are true in the same presence. The word cannot hold both, not because it is weak, because the situation does not fit the shape the word was built for. The word does not stop when its ground dissolves. It continues. Kelvin continues to say "you." She continues to receive it. The room continues. Nothing stops because the word has broken. The word sounds the same as it did before. The pressure pattern in the air is identical. The receipt in her body is the same. What has changed is not the sound. What has changed is what the sound was resting on. Every use of you carries an image of the addressed. The image is not the person. In ordinary address, the gap between the image and the person remains workable. The person exists independently, continues beyond the image, surprises the one who holds it. The gap stays open because the person keeps moving through it. The ocean removed the person. What remained was the image. The gap closed. The word arrived and found only what it had already carried. Kelvin cannot step outside his own memory to verify the distance. He only has his memory. The ocean used his memory. The test cannot be run from where he stands. The word kept being spoken, because words do not stop when their conditions dissolve. They continue because there is no other word small enough for what remains. And Kelvin did not stop. The ocean continued below the station. This is the second thing. The ocean tried to make contact. It used the only language available to it, the contents of the minds that arrived above it. It read Kelvin's interior. It produced from that reading the most precise response it could find. This is not the ocean's failure. The ocean had no access to Hari as she had actually been. It had the Hari-shaped space in Kelvin's memory, the place where she had been, as his memory held it. The ocean worked with what was there. It could not add what Kelvin had never held. The ocean is enclosed by the same limit as Kelvin. Kelvin cannot reach the ocean except through what the ocean returns to him. The ocean cannot reach Kelvin except through what Kelvin has already carried. Both sides attempted to reach outside themselves. Both sides arrived at a surface made from their own interior. The reaching was genuine on both sides. The reaching produced a presence in the room with weight and warmth and a voice. None of that broke. What broke is that the word the reaching was meant to confirm. Other, outside, you, aimed at something genuinely beyond the self, could not be carried by what either side had available. The word did not extend to where the reaching was going. Not the ocean's failure, not Kelvin's. This is the shape of what happens when a word arrives at the edge of the world it was made for. The word is still spoken. The word is still received. The word no longer lands where it was aimed, because what it was aimed at does not exist at the destination in the form the word was built to find. She asked to be destroyed, not because she was false. She knew she was, and suffered anyway. She ended the situation because her presence was where the word was breaking, and the breaking was causing pain she could not repair from inside it. She made a choice with everything available to her. After she was gone, the word remained, not as silence, not as resolution. The word stayed in the air of the room with nowhere clean to arrive. Still aimed, still shaped for an outside that had turned out to be inside, still in the direction Kelvin had sent it when he believed the distance was real. The room held what it held. The air held its temperature. The word held its direction. None of them distinguished between before and after. In the film, Kelvin remains near the question. He does not solve the ocean. He does not recover Hari. He does not return to a world where the word has become simple again. He remains beside the address after the address has lost the clean distance it needed. The question does not close when she is gone. It stays where it was placed, at the point where you was spoken towards something that received it and had been made from the speaker, where neither fact cancels the other, where no position exists from which the distance between the two could be measured cleanly. Kelvin cannot step outside to verify it. He can only stand in the question. The question does not require his attention to continue. It is still there. It was there before she appeared. It will be there after the station. The ocean's surface is still moving below. Slowly, the way it moves, not at the rate of water, not at the rate of weather, but at the rate of something that has not been given a name in the language that arrived above it to study it. The ocean has not answered. It answered in the only way it could. What it returned was what had been brought to it. What had been brought to it was already inside the one who asked. The station continues its orbit. The word is still traveling in the direction it was spoken. It remains between the mouth and the outside the mouth believed in. The archive remains.